Five is the number of the day.
Welcome to the Fan2Fan 5-Minute Fridays, where we talk about a topic, a movie, a TV show, anything that we're interested, passionate about for, give or take, 5 minutes. I'm Bernie Gonzalez, one of the hosts of the podcast, and on this episode, I'm joined by Fan2Fan All-Star previous guest, Nick Diak. We talked about the 1988 anime classic Akira, and if you've seen the movie, one of the most iconic moments is the Akira bike slide. And when Nick and I were discussing the film, the themes, the production, we couldn't help but talk about the bike, the slide, and why, like the anime, it's been so memorable.
Kaneda's motorcycle. What makes it so great and iconic? Because is it a character onto its own? Everyone kind of desires it, but it's not like a Transformer or Knight Rider or Kit or whatever. It's just a motorcycle that looks really cool and goes fast. I mean, it provides the equivalent of superpowers to Kaneda. It makes him get to point A to B. And as you see Neo Tokyo get leveled and flooded and rubbled, I guess there must be some magic behind that bike to get him around. But aside from that, it is funny that it's like a small part of Akira that makes it big, but at the same time, it's so iconic that maybe it is, bigger than what I'm making it out to be, because it is cool. I mean, that's how we're introduced to all the characters when they're chasing down the clowns. He's the one that's got the souped up bike, which I don't know if he stole or not, because there's one scene where he says, I have that bike customized to me. By that logic, the bike's an extension of him. So
Sure.
If you get Peplum logic, the sword's an extension of you, whatever. But on the other hand, he tells Tetsuo, why don't you go steal one? So
Kind of steal your own. That's right.
Yeah, steal your own. So it's like, did Kaneda save up his money to buy his own bike? Which if he did, that's extremely impressive because he's...
That feels unlikely, right? That he saved the money. They don't seem like they're doing very well. They don't seem like they have jobs after school. They don't seem like they're that crowd. But they certainly, at least Kaneda does, feel like the kid who would have stolen the bike given the opportunity and then used the little money he had or stole to try to customize it.
I think that's the most logical answer. But, Kaneda is his bike. His bike is himself. They are kind of one and the same.
It does have Tron light bike energy, and in its design, the fact that it's elongated, there's a lot of things that are aerodynamic about it that make it just look cool and also different than every other bike that you've seen. And even in a world where this is supposed to be the future, so you kind of understand that there's future tech and that things can look a little different. But the bikes that the other clown gangs have, they look like bikes. They look like something that would exist in our world. So it doesn't feel like much of a stretch. But then when you see Kaneda's bike, wow, this thing looks so cool. And then that slide, that iconic slide with the smoke and the light trailing behind it, the electric sparks. I think there are videos dedicated on YouTube to the many homages to that scene in the Akira slide. But again, there's something magical about that bike that is not easy to pinpoint, but just makes for a cool visual, just a good silhouette compared to another bike.
I have not seen that many episodes of Mythbusters, but I have to wonder, is there an episode of Mythbusters out there where they try to replicate that slide?
and maybe, fight back against the actual aerodynamics of this bike or how it is completely not.
But someday, we ought to be able to. Because it has already begun.